Tonight, we will dance our way into our dreams by attending a mysterious and magical masquerade ball. The hosts of this grand otherworldly ball are as beautiful as their masks and even more magical. This splendid, immersive story was written by the talented Frankie and will be read by the soothing voice of Chloe. A special thanks to both of you for bringing your excellent creative talents to this episode and to so many others on our show. Before we begin our journey into this night of enchantment, I warmly invite you to make sure you are nice and comfortable. Find that perfect position in your bed where the mattress supports you just right and your pillows cradle your head. Once you're settled, you can gently close your eyes, allowing your eyelids to feel heavy and relaxed. Then, take a few deep, nourishing breaths, just in your own time. There's no rush. Inhale slowly, and exhale even more slowly, feeling the rhythm of your own breath beginning to calm the rhythm of your thoughts. Bit by bit, sense yourself starting to let go. Let go of any lingering attachments to the waking day, the to-do lists, the conversations, the small worries. They have no place here. You are in the cozy, safe zone of rest now, a sanctuary where you can completely, and without reservation, let your guard down. Here, you feel no pressure to perform tasks, to engage in activities, or to present yourself in any particular way to the world. It's just you, your quiet mind, and your wonderfully comfy bed. So let go more and more with each exhale, and fully embrace the luxurious, deserved feeling of rest. If you need a little more help in switching off the busyness of the day, you can imagine a simple, powerful thing, that for each part of your body, there is a small, gentle light switch. As you flick each one off, you are sending a clear, direct signal to your body that it is time to power down, to rest, and to restore. Let's begin at your feet. In your mind's eye, see that switch and flick it to off. Feel a wave of warmth and heaviness instantly wash over your feet, releasing all sensation. Then turn off the switch for your legs, your calves, your shins, your knees, your thighs. Feel how your entire lower half gratefully eases into a state of profound rest as the energy is gently switched off. Now move your attention upward. Switch off the light for your waist and hips, your lower back and abdomen. Feel the core of your body softening, letting go of any tension it was holding. Then, turn off the switch for your upper back and chest, your arms from your shoulders down to your elbows, and then your wrists and hands, all the way to the very tips of your fingers. Feel them become heavy and still. Now, turn off the switch for your powerful shoulders and your neck, allowing them to finally release the weight they carry. And finally, now that your body is sinking so deeply into rest, you can turn off the last switch for your head. Feel the tiny muscles around your scalp, your forehead, and your jaw relax completely. And with that, feel your mind begin to quiet, the thoughts slowing, like settling dust. All that's left to do is to listen along to our story, knowing you are safe and supported, and that you can drift off into sleep whenever you like. So let's turn together to the realm of dreams. Listen closely. On the very edge of hearing, far, far in the distance, an ethereal tune carries on a gentle night wind towards you. It is beautiful and other wild and lyrical, softly drawing you into another place, another time. Follow the music. Let it pull you. Join the masquerade. For this is where our story begins. Music. unlike any you have ever heard, is the first thing you notice. It's not just a sound you hear with your ears, but a vibration you feel in your bones. You lie still, listening to it for a few moments, captivated. You cannot pick out individual instruments. It is a symphony of the unfamiliar. The melody seems less to play in the air and more to wind itself directly through the pathways of your mind, inviting and hypnotic. Finally, you open your eyes. The first sight that greets you is the sharp silver curve of a sickle moon, shining like a wan, mysterious smile in the vast, dark velvet of the sky. There is not a single cloud in sight to mar your view. The moon seems particularly bright and close this evening, its pale light casting soft, long shadows. In comparison, the diamond points of the stars seem to flicker and twinkle with a desperate, beautiful energy, battling for their tiny, brilliant light to be seen against the moon's glow. You stare at them, and with a soft surge of surprise, you notice that these are not the constellations you recognize from home. This is a different sky. You look around. You are lying on your back in the middle of a perfectly manicured, immense lawn. You could swear that each blade of grass is exactly the same height as its neighbors, a uniform emerald carpet. Stranger still, they do not appear to be cut by any machine. It is as if they all grew to this precise, perfect height and then, by some unspoken agreement, simply stopped growing. You press yourself up to a seated position, the cool grass soft beneath your palms, and continue your investigation of the area. The lawn is very large, stretching out in all directions, but here and there you can see little white wrought iron tables with colorful parasols and delicate chairs, as if at any moment a sophisticated garden party could begin. Thick, lush rose bushes border the lawn, creating a dense, fragrant hedge as tall as a person. A grand rose arch at one end, woven with vines, leads beyond this secluded garden. You stand and walk towards the arch. The intoxicating scent of the evening air clean and cool mingles with the heavy perfume of the roses wafting about you as you walk. You see that some of the roses are blooming even now. At night, their petals open to the moonlight. They come in nearly every color imaginable. Deep crimsons that melt into velvety purples, which in turn give way to bright, cheerful pinks, vibrant oranges, and sunny yellows. On the rose arch itself bloom deep red roses, so dark and rich they are nearly black, like drops of midnight. You cross beneath the rose arch, the scent intensifying for a moment, and are immediately confronted with an impressive and breathtaking view. Before you stands a huge palatial manor house, built from pale stone that seems to glow. The building is at least 5 stories high, with a majestic circular tower rising from one corner, its pointed roof piercing the sky. The ground floor is dominated by towering 2-story high windows. They are lit from within by an inviting, cheerful golden light that spills out onto the grounds. Even at this distance, you can see silhouetted figures moving gracefully behind the windows, shadows in a dance. As if drawn by an invisible tether, you find yourself drifting towards those lights, towards that captivating sound. The music that has enticed you since you opened your eyes is clearer and stronger here. It is coming from this most impressive of places. And as you get closer, the details sharpen. You realize that there are hundreds of figures moving about within, a kaleidoscope of color and motion. They are all dressed in the most fabulous, elaborate clothes you can imagine, and they twirl and flit around the room, clearly dancing to the music that now fills your entire being. You barely register the enormous golden door and the attendants standing stiffly beside it until you are just a few feet from them. The attendant is dressed in immaculate royal blue and gold livery. Everything from his shiny buckled shoes to his elegant golden half-mask seems to gleam with a light of its own. His mask is simple but elegant, covering only the upper part of his face, and you can see the calm, intelligent glint of his eyes beneath it. He gives you a small, formal bow, and without a word, opens the massive door for you to enter the party. As soon as you cross the threshold of the ballroom, a wondrous sensation washes over you. It feels like a warm, scented breeze passing over your entire body, and with it you feel the gentle, sudden pressure of a mask settling on your face. You look down, a gasp catching in your throat, to see that your clothes have transformed. You are now wearing the most beautiful, exquisite outfit you have ever seen. You spin around, desperate to see your reflection in the dark glass of the windows. The person who stares back at you from beneath a full, ornate mask is one you barely recognize. Yet it is undeniably you, transformed. Your clothes are a deep forest emerald green, embroidered here and there with what look like real glittering emeralds, woven into the shape of delicate curling leaves. Your mask covers your whole face, a masterpiece of green velvet and gold filigree. Ruby red roses, crafted from silk and gemstones, bloom from its temples and cascade down one side. These same roses are found nestled at your shoulders and trailing down your sleeves. You look like a rose vine has magically sprung to life, a creature of the garden itself. You turn back to the party, your heart beating with a new, excited rhythm, finally able to get a good look at your fellow guests. Every single one of them also wears a mask, each more creative and stunning than the last. Many of them glide across the floor in pairs or on their own, their movements fluid and perfectly attuned to the music. Others line the walls, chatting in small, animated groups near a long refreshment table that groans under the weight of crystal platters and fountains. In the center of the room, there is a raised dais, and upon it, half a dozen musicians are playing. Each holds a different, strange instrument, one that looks like a curved harp made of light, another that resembles a set of glass pipes, and none of which you recognize. The music they create seems less to be played and more to be conjured. It wafts around the room like a visible melodic haze. It is the perfect volume, loud and compelling if you are amongst the dancers, yet softening to a soft background murmur when you step closer to the walls. It infuses your mind, always present and never ending, the heartbeat of the night. The ballroom itself is the largest, most opulent room you have ever seen. The ceiling is another story above you, a distant painted sky. It is decorated with a magnificent, sprawling fresco. It appears to be a map of the garden of the world. Lush, painted vegetation twists around in pleasing, intricate patterns, and between the leafy borders are painted scenes of animals. Some are ones you can identify, such as noble stags, watchful wolves, and soaring hawks. Others are fantastical creatures from a dream, a jackrabbit with elegant antlers, fish with colorful, shimmering butterfly wings, and a serene, pearl-white unicorn, all gaze down at you from the ceiling. This twisting, living design centers around the grand chandelier in the middle of the room. It is a waterfall of light, an explosion of crystal that rains down from the ceiling. It is exquisitely carved, holding hundreds of fat, white, flickering candles. The light it gives off is warm and golden, filling you with an internal, cheerful glow. The walls of the room appear to be hand-painted. Delicate, green vines reach up from near the floor and twist up towards the ceiling, so realistic you almost expect them to tremble. A few of the leaves and tendrils are accented in real gold leaf, which reflects the light of the chandelier, giving the entire ballroom an ethereal, shimmering quality. And the floor, you look down and catch a gasp in your throat. The floor is made of a dark, highly polished wood, so reflective it acts as a mirror. But it is also painted masterfully to look like the surface of a vast, calm, moonlit pond. To you, it looks like your fine green shoes are suspended over still, deep water. You can see painted water grasses, colorful, koi-like fish, and wide, floating lily pads beneath your feet. In the glimmering, shifting candlelight, it almost seems as though the scene beneath you is gently moving, the fish slowly swimming, the lily drifting. You turn your attention back to the dancers. The music presses on your mind, its rhythm pulsing through you, and irresistibly entices your body to move. The dancers, as if sensing your decision, seem to make a space amongst their number just for you. And then your legs begin to move without any conscious instruction from you, as if they remember a dance they never learned. Before you know what's happening, you are winding through the other bodies, dancing with a grace and poise that you have never felt in your life. Partners come and go as easily as the tides. As you glide along the water-like floor, one moment you are dancing with someone in an ornate, breathtaking peacock costume. The mask they wear is embellished with real, iridescent peacock feathers that sway and shiver with the music. Behind them trails a long, magnificent tail made of hundreds of these feathers, each one at least 6 feet long, sweeping across the floor without a sound. Their mask has shimmering shades of green, blue, and purple, edged with gold, and comes to a delicate, pointed golden beak over their nose. Before you can even form a compliment, they are gone, vanishing into the crowd as if absorbed by it. A silver fox takes their place. The fox mask before you has tufts of what looks like soft, real silver gray fur at the ears. The intricate silver pattern on the rest of the mask swirls like snowflakes caught in a winter storm. The mask is so remarkably beautiful that it takes several moments before you notice the puffy, white tail your partner has, which seems to whip and curl with a life of its own, playfully keeping time with the music. Looking into the face of your partner, you notice their fox-like eyes staring back at you. They are a curious, luminous shade of amber, and seem to glow with their own inner light from the darkness of the mask. Again, before you can speak, the silvery fox executes a perfect final spin and twirls away into the throng. You find yourself before yet another masked person. This one is a beautiful, enormous butterfly. Their wings are so large and elaborate that the other dancers instinctively give you two a wide berth. The wings contain every color in the rainbow, layered over one another, and have a curious, oily sheen to them, like a real butterfly's wing. They look as delicate as spun glass, and they even open and close gently, slowly, with the dancer's movements. Their mask is sleek black with two glittering, multifaceted half-spheres where the eyes should be, and two long, delicate black antennae curl gracefully from the top. It gives the impression of being carved from one huge, perfect chunk of onyx. Finally, the song seems to drift to an end, and your silent, beautiful partner gives a slight nod before leaving you. You take this opportunity, feeling a pleasant weariness in your limbs, to find some refreshment. As you wander towards the long wall of the ballroom where the refreshment tables stand, you peer more closely at the other dancers. Their costumes, if they are indeed costumes, appear to be as lovely and intricate as those of your dance partners. But there is something curiously lifelike about them. For instance, it may have been a trick of the flickering light, but you're sure you saw the long, sleek tail of someone with a black cat mask flick with an uncharacteristic fluid realism. A hawk-masked person also appeared to have the feathers on their ruff rise slightly, as if in brief annoyance. You decide to put the issue from your mind, suddenly very aware of a powerful thirst after your exertions. You approach the tables and are immediately dazzled by the collection of glittering tableware. Everything is made from pure, shining, flawless crystal. The light from the chandelier shines through each piece, bending and splitting, tossing tiny, perfect rainbows around the walls, ceiling, and floor. They flit and dance like fairies as the other guests pick up glasses and plates. On every table, there is at least one huge tiered crystal fountain. Each one contains a different, sparkling drink that rushes cheerfully from the top into a large, clear serving bowl at the bottom. The drinks are variously a sky blue, a blushing pink, and a pale seafoam green. They look incredibly light and refreshing. You pick up an ornate, stemmed crystal goblet. It is expertly carved with tiny vines and is surprisingly light in your hand. You bring the cup to one of the bowls and delicately pour a couple of spoonfuls of the pink drink into the goblet using a long-handled crystal ladle. One or two of the other guests near you, a badger and a swan, lift their own cups to you in a silent, friendly toast. As you take your first sip, the liquid is perfectly chilled, though you have not seen any ice in the serving bowl. It dances over your tongue with a refreshing, bright flavor that is not overpowering. It tastes of wild strawberries, crushed rose petals, and a hint of lemon. After your first sip, you feel a wave of gentle energy, recharging you and making you feel ready for more dancing. The floral and fruity notes are not overly sweet, and you find yourself drinking more, the goblet nearly halfway gone in moments. Every time you taste it, it brings to mind a vivid image of open, sun-drenched wildflower meadows on a perfect, hot summer day. Your goblet now empty, you eye the other two drinks with curiosity. You decide to be adventurous and try them all. Next, you sample the blue liquid, which looks as pure and fresh as water from a mountain spring. It touches your lips, and you are instantly transported. The sharp, crisp essence of fresh snow, the scent of evergreen trees, and a clean, clear touch of mint hit your senses all at once. You are not sure if you are tasting or smelling these things, but the experience is even more invigorating than the pink drink. A guest who wears the mask of a great white polar bear has been watching you taste the blue drink. You catch their dark, kind eye, and they nod slowly, approvingly at you. Finally, you fill your goblet with the pale green liquid. Even before it touches your lips, you can almost see the sun-dappled, deep forest that it evokes in your mind. the taste of birdsong, of damp earth, of ancient, peaceful trees, and the comforting, silent embrace of the woods overwhelm you. The flavor is earthy, hearty, like green moss and cedar. While sipping this drink, the animal masks of the guests seem even more lifelike. They appear in your mind's eye like real creatures, drifting between large, shadowy tree trunks and out from behind the lush underbrush. A part of you wants to remain in this temporary green illusion for just a moment longer, but when your glass is empty, you know it is time to return to the dance. Once again, it is as if the dance and the music are one single, living being, a creature that can read your mind and knows exactly when you are ready to find your place in the swirling, tidal eddies of the dance floor. A space seems to open up before you as if by magic, and all you have to do is follow your feet. Your first partner, upon your return, is a glittering, electric green crocodile. Each scale on their costume looks like a carefully placed, shimmering gem, and the mask seems to grin at you with a wide, knowing smile. You grasp two hands that feel surprisingly cool and textured, almost scaly, in your own. Much like the animal it represents, this dancer is surprisingly quick and agile on their feet. You have to focus all your attention to keep up with their complex, fancy footwork, spinning and stepping in time. Though the musicians play noticeably different songs, the music itself melts together for you, creating a single joyful haze in your head. Your vision feels rose-tinted as you gaze at the plethora of glittering masks all around you. They are every color, shape, and texture you can imagine. Scales, feathers, and fur are just as common on the masks as bright jewels, polished metals, and ornate, hand-painted details. A thought, quiet and quick, drifts through your mind like a quicksilver fish. You have yet to hear anyone speak. Not a single word. As soon as the thought crosses your mind, it's gone, darting back to the depths of your subconscious, lost to the all-encompassing sound of the music. After the glittering crocodile glides away on shoes that look like lily pads, you are next partnered with an individual bearing an impressive hypnotic octopus mask. Large, lamp-like eyes on the mask are coupled with 8 long, curling tentacles that seem to move around the wearer's head. Each sucker on the underside of the tentacles is decorated with a deep, glowing amethyst gem. The entire mask seems to glisten in the candlelight as if its wearer has just stepped out of the ocean depths and was still wet. You resist a powerful urge to reach out and touch the beautiful, undulating mask and watch in sheer amazement as the mask itself changes color subtly to the beat of the music, shifting from green to blue to purple, much like a real octopus communicating its mood at the bottom of the sea. In that moment, you are suddenly gripped by an intense, insatiable desire to stop dancing. You want to hold your partner, to prevent them from leaving, and demand answers. Who are they? What is this place? How did you all find yourselves here? The urge is strong, a spike of waking curiosity in the dream. But the urge passes as quickly as it came, washed away when a new, calming thought overtakes you. This night, this palace, and these people are not things from which you should demand answers. This night is not for solving mysteries, but for experiencing them. It is about pure enjoyment, wonder, and letting go. Why worry about questions with no answers, or answers you cannot possibly comprehend? Why not spend this magical night in the pure, unadulterated pleasure of the masquerade? When else in your life do you get to enjoy something so completely, so freely? This thought settles calmly across your mind like a warm, heavy blanket. You feel your shoulders relax. You spin away from the color-changing octopus and into the arms of your next partner. And this partner surprises you, not because of their mask, which is a resplendent golden sunflower, or any otherworldly air, but because you get a certain undeniable sense that behind it lies someone like you. Where the other dancers give off an ethereal, mysterious, almost alien energy, this dancer feels purely, simply human. You can see by the familiar look in their eyes, the shock, the delight, the recognition that they see you as human, too. The pair of you nearly stop dancing in your tracks, but the relentless, beautiful music carries you through like an unstoppable tide. Both too stunned to speak, you keep flowing with the rhythm, following your feet for a while, communicating only through wide eyes and hesitant smiles. Finally, as one song gently drifts to its end and another slowly fades into a beginning, you both seize the chance to slip off the dance floor. You find a secluded corner through silent mutual agreement and look at one another. It does not feel like the right thing to do to take off your masks that would break the spell. Instead, you simply grin at one another, your eyes crinkling at the corners with shared joy and understanding behind your disguises. You compliment one another on your costumes with a knowing air, each aware that the other has no idea how they came to be wearing such magnificent attire. Your brief, whispered conversation is soon overcome with soft, happy giggles, like two small children who have discovered they are playing the same wonderful game of imagination. There does not seem to be a need for more words. You get the sense that this other person, this other human being, knows as much or as little as you do, and is like you, simply enjoying the ride. You lean against the wall, intending to just catch your breath and take in the spectacle of the dance, enjoying the quiet companionship of your newfound friend. But as you lean, the wall gives way slightly behind you with a soft click. Your companion grabs your arm to steady you. You both turn to inspect what you once thought was a solid, painted wall. Now you can see a thin, vertical line. You test it with your hand and it gives under the pressure, revealing a cleverly hidden door. Without a second thought, sharing a look of pure adventure, the two of you open the door, just wide enough to slip through and sneak inside, closing it softly behind you. You find yourselves in a cool, quiet stone corridor, dimly lit by single candles and simple iron holders along the walls. The sounds of the ball are instantly muffled, replaced by the sound of your own breathing and the faint echo of your footsteps. The corridor is not too long and quickly transitions into a tightly winding, narrow staircase of the same gray stone. You share another look with your sunflower friend. You can tell from one glance that they are as eager and curious as you are to explore, to see what secrets this magical palace holds. You start to climb the stairs, your hands brushing against the cool, rough stone wall for balance. At regular intervals, there are long, thin, panelless windows that reveal small, framed slivers of the world outside. You catch breathtaking glimpses of the moon, even higher now and shining with a brilliant silver intensity. You see the rose garden from a new angle, a tapestry of dark greens and muted colors in the moonlight. Through one window, you think you see a vast field of the tallest sunflowers you have ever laid eyes on, their great heads bowed as if in sleep. The cool, fresh night air blows through these open windows, caressing your face and refreshing you from the warmth and intensity of the ballroom. Finally, after what feels like a long but easy climb, you and your companion come to a simple, unadorned wooden door at the top of the stairs with a large cast-iron ring for a handle. You push it, and it opens easily, without a sound, to reveal a wide open stone balcony. You have ended up at the very top of the manor's tower. The view is unimpeded, spectacular. You can see the dark, rolling land surrounding this strange place, forests and fields stretching out to a horizon you cannot see. As your sunflower friend also peers around in silent wonder, a bright, silent flash of light zooms up from somewhere in the gardens below, past the tower, and into the starry sky. Then a firework more colorful, complex, and bright than you have ever seen in your life explodes directly above you in a shower of sapphire blue and emerald green. Before you can even catch your breath, another follows, then another. You and your companion stare up in shared wonder and astonishment at the private fireworks display. It is entirely unique. The sounds are softer, more like a distant sigh than a bang, while the colors, patterns, and sheer reach of the fireworks are more fantastic and dreamlike than any you've witnessed. Suddenly, one burst erupts and, instead of fading, holds its shape in the sky, a perfect blooming rose, its petals slowly changing color from red to pink to gold, before it gently fades into the night. A moment later, a giant, shining sunflower replaces it, its face shining with a light that rivals the real sun, warming your upturned faces. You turn to look at your new friend who returns your gaze, their eyes wide with the same magic you feel. Both of you laugh, a sound of pure, unburdened joy that is carried away on the night breeze. And in that moment, you both hope with all your hearts that this magical, impossible masquerade never, ever ends.